That one night in the mountains, based on true events, they say mountains remember every whisper, every footstep, every secret buried beneath their silence. I never believed that, until that one night. It was late October, just after Dussehra, when I decided to visit my friend Arjun in a small Hymekal village called Shilu. I'd been there once as a kid, but this time the air felt different, quieter, heavier, as if even the wind carried memories. When I reached by evening, the sky was turning orange behind the ridges, and smoke rose lazily from chimneys. Arjun's house was a simple wooden structure at the edge of the slope, overlooking pine forests that seemed endless. His mother welcomed me with hot chai and pakoras, and for a while everything felt peaceful. Laughter echoing, crickets starting to sing, the warmth of the fire wrapping around us. By 8 p.m., the village was asleep. No traffic, no electricity after 9. Just the hiss of the lantern and the distant bark of dogs. Arjun and I sat on the veranda, sharing stories from college. "Yar," he said, lighting a beedi. "You city people don't understand what real silence is." He exhaled smoke, eyes fixed on the dark forest. "Sometimes silence itself talks here." I laughed. "Bro, don't start your ghost stories now." But he didn't smile back. "Nahi. I'm serious. There's something about these hills. They don't forget. The dead." His voice dropped lower. "Last year, a man went missing after sunset. A local woodcutter. People say he followed someone's voice calling his name from the forest. They found his body 2 days later, but his throat was frozen, stiff like he'd screamed till his last breath. I tried to shake it off, but that silence, after he finished that heavy, endless quiet, made my skin crawl. The kind of quiet where you start hearing your own heartbeat." Around 10:30, we went inside to sleep. The room was small, wooden walls creaking with every breeze. Arjun fell asleep almost instantly. I lay there, staring at the ceiling, listening to the faint rustle of pine leaves outside. Then I heard a knock. Soft, rhythmic. Three times. Toke, toke. I thought maybe it was the window shaking, but then came another sound. Someone whispering outside. It wasn't clear words, more like a faint hum, or chanting. I held my breath. The voice stopped. Silence again. I almost convinced myself I imagined it, until I heard it again. "Arjun?" The voice was low, familiar, like someone calling from far away. My mouth went dry. Arjun was still asleep. I nudged him. "Bye, son. Na koi bulara." Ay, he grunted, half asleep. "Hawa huggy." So yeah. But the voice came again, clearer this time, closer. "Argun ida." I sat up. The lantern flame flickered hard, as if something had brushed past it. Outside the window, fog was thick, pressing against the glass. The trees swayed though the wind had stopped. Arjun finally sat up, irritated. "Kia hayar." Before I could answer, we bought frosi, because the voice came again, but this time, it wasn't outside. It was right behind the door. He grabbed my arm so tightly it hurt. "To be Suna." I nodded slowly. The knock returned. 3 times again. "Toke. Toke. Toke," Arjun whispered. "Don't open it." We sat there, staring at the door, barely breathing. Then, silence. Nothing. Only the faint ticking of his old wall clock. Minutes passed. We started to relax a little when we heard footsteps slow, dragging, moving away from the door. The sound of something heavy being dragged along the wooden porch. Then the whisper again, fading into the forest. Arjun, we didn't sleep that night. At dawn, when the fog cleared, Arjun's mother found footprints outside, bare feet, leading away from the door. But there was something off. The prints were deep and uneven, like whoever made them had only one leg. We tried to joke about it over breakfast, blaming our imagination, the cold, the old house creaking. But that afternoon, one of the elders of the village came by and overheard us talking. He went pale. "Don't speak that name after dark," he said quietly. "The woodcutter. The one who died last year. His name was Arjun too." My friend's smile faded. "But you're saying—" The old man nodded. "People say he still roams, calling his own name, looking for a body that no longer answers." That night, I left early, before sunset. As the bus wound down the narrow road, I looked back one last time. Arjun stood at the doorway, waving. Behind him, just for a second, I thought I saw another silhouette standing in the mist. Same height, same build, a shadow mirroring his every move. When I blinked, it was gone. A week later, Arjun stopped answering my calls. His mother told me he'd gone into the forest one evening and never came back. Search teams found nothing except one strange thing. 2 sets of footprints, side by side, leading into the woods, and only one set coming back. Sometimes, when I close my eyes, I can still hear that voice in the wind. Soft, distant, calling from somewhere deep in those mountains. Asterisk. Asterisk. Moral of the story. Asterisk. Asterisk. Some places remember what we try to forget. When you disrespect silence or ignore the unseen, the mountains or whatever watches from within them answer back. Never mock or doubt the whispers of nature or the warnings of the old, because sometimes what calls your name in the dark? ISNT calling, asterisk. Your asterisk. It S calling, asterisk, for you. Asterisk.